Hello and welcome to Release, Remove, and Create 5-Day Energetic Experience. This is day 2, and over these 5 days, you're going to be releasing the past, removing what's in your way, removing what's blocking you, so you can create your desired reality now. Now, today's class, we're going to be doing more about releasing the past, more about releasing those past choices that you made and the judgments you might have around making those choices in the past. Oh, there's a lot of energy on that. And just to kind of set the stage, if you haven't already watched the first day, I'm going to recommend that either now or after you watch this video, go back and watch the first day's videos, because in that video, we start to create this energetic space. So I invite you into the energetic change field that's created by this class and that I'm directing and guiding. Now, just being part of these videos, just watching these videos, you might think that not much can be happening, but actually there's a lot of change that can be happening. And this change is set up for you, that you get to decide, you get to make a choice about how much or how little you would like this experience to change, to create that change, to release those limitations so you can take those steps forward to become more of the person that you would like to be. So in the first day, we talked more about how beliefs and challenges and limitations get stored in our bodies and in our brains. And they get stored both in the logical way, the logic that we've decided something means, decided what we think happened in the experience. Then there's the emotions that we have attached to that experience or thinking back at it. And then the energetic component, that are those a deeper level of feelings and emotions. And all those work together to lock in however we're feeling about the past. And if we try to change the past by just thinking logically about it, it doesn't work, because the emotions and the energies that are associated with it lock it in. And as we mentioned in the first video, that's actually it's usually defined as a good thing, because that keeps us from constantly vacillating between thoughts about things. But it's not so good when we're trying to release past upsets, limitations, limiting beliefs, because they feel solid and fixed. And so what we do with this energetic work is both look at it logically, and then we do energetic changes and shifts to remove those blocks and limits, so we have the chance to release those and create a new, more empowering experience, a more empowering belief about what happened. So all the changes, everything that the first video brought up, that would be a contribution for you to release. Do you choose to release, let go, and or allow all that to be removed from your reality now? Yes, I choose that. Vaporize, liquefy, vaporize, liquefy. Yeah, and you can also watch these videos multiple times and receive deeper release from each time you watch it. And that's because we're operating at multidimensional levels. We're operating at the conscious level, and sometimes you'll hear things the second time that you didn't hear the first time. And why that is because our brains have these built-in beliefs. And when our beliefs first get challenged, we have some resistance to looking at them. And then sometimes after we've had that belief challenge, what can happen is that your conscious mind works on it, or your subconscious mind works on it beneath the surface, and then looks at like, oh, is this true? Might we be able to change this? And then when you hear that information again, it kind of gets through to your conscious mind, and then your conscious mind goes, oh yeah, we want that change. So all the changes and shifts that started in the first day's video, that you would like to expand on, to release even more about the past, past upsets, past challenges, past limiting beliefs. Do you choose to release, let go, and or allow all those to be removed from your reality now? Yes, I choose that. Vaporize, liquefy, vaporize, liquefy. Yeah, and so today, what we wanted to talk about is more about the choices that we made in the past, the choices that you made in the past. And one of the things that comes up for a lot of us is that we have a lot of regrets about some of the choices that we made in the past. And we can feel that those choices really impacted our lives or even our current life now. Ugh. And how do we go about changing and shifting how we feel about those choices and how those choices have impact our lives? Ugh, yikes. Yeah, feel all the judgment and energy on that. Yeah, and as we mentioned in the first video, that when you have judgments, beliefs, opinions about certain things, that makes them harder to change and shift. And so when we have a belief about a choice we made in the past, and that choice didn't turn out the way that we would like it to, we can have a lot of judgments about like that we shouldn't have made that choice. Whoa, yeah. And what I've looked at and looked at so many different people in my life and in my clients' lives is that the choices we made, while it seems like when we look back at them, hindsight is 2020, we seem like, oh, we should never have made that choice. Oh, yikes. Yep. So everything that's coming up around choices in the past, and you can choose a specific choice that might be impacting you, or you can look at it more generally. Whichever way works for you, we're going to be interacting in a way that creates the most change, the most release around these judgments and critical beliefs we made about choices we made in the past. Oh, and the first one that comes up is the logical component of it. That when we made a choice and it didn't work out wrong, the logic is that you're wrong, you made a mistake, and then this is going to mess you up. Woo, yikes. Yeah, so everything that brings up, G choose to release and let all that go. Woo, vaporize, liquefy, vaporize, liquefy. Yeah, and when we look back logically, a lot of the times we made these choices that didn't work out the way we would like them to, we make critical thoughts and beliefs about ourselves, like we're not good enough, and we always make mistakes. There's something wrong with us. Woo, wow. And once again, as we mentioned in the first video, that it seems super logical that that's true, but it actually isn't. Because given the situation that you were in the past, given all the things you were experiencing, your thoughts and beliefs, it made it really likely that you were going to make that choice no matter what. Now, this is one of those parts that feels kind of weird. What happens if you look back at any choice you made in the past, look at how you were feeling at the time, what you knew about the situation, and kind of the emotional feelings and state that you were in at the time. And if you look at that and go, how likely would it have been that you could have made the other choice? Now, this is one that comes up that it seems like, oh, you could have easily made the other choice. But what I found is that that's almost never the case. What your experience, your emotions, your state, everything that you were going through at that time made it much more likely that you're going to make that choice. So it's not just that you can look back and go, oh, you could have easily made another choice. Oh, but do you feel the judgment on that you should have been able to easily make that other choice? Yes, I feel that. But that's actually not true. So everywhere you've decided you could have just easily made another choice, and then your life would have been completely different. Do you choose to release, let go, and or allow all that to be removed from your reality now? Yes, I choose that. Vaporize, liquefy, vaporize, liquefy. Yeah, and as I was mentioning, the judgments that you're making about yourself, the judgments you're making about that choice, create this energetic pressure that makes it harder to change and shift any feelings about that choice. And because we can't change and shift those feelings, those logical beliefs pop in that that choice is limiting, the choice you made years ago limits who you can be now. And that's actually not true, because no matter what choice you made in the past, you can always create more of the life and the more of the you would like. Do you feel your body's kind of relax on that? That no matter what happened in the past, you can always become more of the person that you would like to be, and you can always create a better life for you. There's a lot of peace on that, because looking at that from this energetic standpoint, it's starting to remove all those self-critical judgments that are judging you and putting yourself down for making those choices in the past. Oh, yikes. Yep. So all the thoughts and self-critical judgments that are putting you down, making you wrong, making you feel less than because you made these choices in the past, do you choose to release and let all those go? Yes, I choose that. Whoosh, out, 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 out. Wow. Yeah, and this is another thing that we wanted to come up with is because you live with yourself every moment of every day, when you make a choice that didn't work out the way that you would like it to, or you make even what we might call a quote unquote mistake, what can happen is you don't allow yourself any of those excuses, any of those reasons why you made that choice. Now, why is that? Well, the thing is at a deep level that any excuse you make is just an excuse, that you could actually have done something different. And this creates a place where it makes it really hard for you to forgive yourself, really hard to let go of those choices that didn't turn out the way that you would have liked them to, because you feel like you should have known better or that you deserve it. Ugh, yikes. But what I've found is if you look at it from a more objective, a more compassionate space. So let's imagine, so some choice that you have a hard time forgiving yourself for, or a hard time thinking that you're an okay person for making that choice, is if you looked at your best friend or someone you really care about, if they had a similar experience and they made a similar choice, and they let you know kind of what was going on with them, and they told you, maybe the reason why they did it, would you say, oh, you're a bad person, you should never forgive yourself? Ugh. No, you would never do that. You would go, oh, I totally understand why you made that choice. And what if you can show yourself that same kindness, that same compassion, as you would show somebody that you really cared about? So all the places you haven't been showing yourself the same kindness, the same compassion as you would for someone you care about. Ugh. Do you choose to remove any of those judgments and remove any of those blocks that are preventing you from appreciating yourself and interacting with the same kindness and compassion around you and any of your past choices? And this is one of those cool parts is I didn't even have to do any quote unquote energetic clearings to change and release on that, because that was you giving yourself compassion, looking at yourself from a slightly different angle, a more compassionate angle, to help change and shift some of those critical beliefs, those critical judgments about you. So now, looking back over your past and your past choices, the ones that you decided limited you, do you choose to release those judgments you have about making those choices in the first place? And there's a little resistance there, but just release as much as you can of those critical beliefs and thoughts and opinions you made about yourself for making those choices. There you go. Good job. And then the other part around all these things is no matter what happened in the past, no matter what you experienced, no matter what choices you made, none of that prevents you from becoming more of the person you would like to be. So, this is a good clearing we can do. So what is everything preventing any of your past choices, any disempowering choice? How can you use that choice to create more of the person you would like to be? How can you use that choice, or how can you use that experience to become more of the person you would choose to be? And this is true. I've looked at it basically from every disempowering experience. Now, some disempowering experiences have completely broken people. And it can feel like that happened to you, but it really hasn't. And some experiences that are a similar experience, people have used those to go on to become the best versions of themselves. So how is that? A lot of times we've been told that it's because someone just had more willpower. They just had a more positive mindset, and that's not true. What it really is changing the belief that experience ruined them. It was so awful they couldn't become the person they wanted to be. And it's just to shift it to ask, how can you use this choice, or how can you use this experience to become more of the person you choose to be? And often that gives you just enough opening, just enough hope to be able to keep going and actually use that experience. Because even the most disempowering experience, you can use that to become more of the person you choose to be. So how can you use any of your past choices, any of your past experiences to become more of the person you choose to be? Awesome. So thank you for joining with me in day 2 of the Release, Remove, and Create Your Desired Reality experience. And if you're watching this live or during this second week of December, you can join me on a live Zoom that I'm doing after this class. So I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Bye for now.